Hello everyone, welcome back. In this session, we will see the Google Calendar tutorial. So what I will try to do in this video, instead of splitting it in too many parts, I'll try to cover it maximum of the portions in a single video. If it required to be split this video in at least say 2 or 3 parts, then we will try that way. So let's go ahead with this tutorial. So what I will essentially cover is how you can effectively use the calendar to increase your productivity, especially in the corporate environment. Okay, so in personal use, we may not use the calendar to that extent, but in the corporate where your company is using the Google Apps for the office automation, this will be definitely useful. On the left hand side, you'll have the three dots, which basically help to create or to see the extended view of your calendar. Then you have the create button to create any event. If your cursor is at this position, say you can click anywhere, okay, or in the right at the moment if you wanted to create any event. So currently in this window, the today's date is always highlighted and the today's time is always highlighted. Well, now it's 7:20 p.m. So this bar will be as per your clock. So if I click on create, automatically it will create the event to the nearest rounded up time. So for example, now it's 7:20. It is creating my event from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. So the default is 1 hour, which we can change as well from the settings. Okay. Then we have the calendar. So calendar view is given here. Then there are some of the default calendars that are here. So for example, AM is the current account. Currently there are no events, so it's not appearing here. Then birthdays, reminders and tasks, whatever is synced with your contacts is appearing here. Okay. Then holidays in India. This is a default calendar as per your selected locale. It will add these calendars. So you can see that it is showing here as I have enabled this. Next we have is, say for example, if we wanted to scroll through different dates and see how my calendar is blocked, especially in the corporate environment. If somebody is blocking your calendar, you can scroll through this top right and left button, and if you wanted to always go back, you just click on the today and it will go back to the original date. Next you have is the search button to search for any of the event on the top, or you can search. Now again, just like another Google Apps, this search is again an exhaustive search, so you can search anything that is available on your drive. So for example, if I say data here, if there is any event by name containing the word data, it will show that first. Otherwise it will show me all the files that are available on my drive with this name or containing this name. We have this week. So currently my week view is selected starting from Sunday to Saturday. Okay, now if we do not interested in Sunday and Saturday being a weekend or holidays, so we can only keep the Monday to Friday week. So I just click on do not show the weekend, and it is now 5-day week, Monday to Friday, which is a standard. Then show the declined event, that I'll show in a minute when we create the invite. Okay, so for now let this be enabled. And then we have this, if you wanted the day view, I can click on day, so it will show me only today's date. If you want week view, month view, year view, etc. Now the symbol here is showing the shortcuts. So for example, if I wanted to go back to my week view, I'll just, here I'm pressing the W key on the keyboard and it is going back to the week. Similarly for month M, I'm clicking on M on my keyboard, it is going to the week. Y for the yearly view, so on and so forth. Okay, it's a handy shortcut. So if you wanted to quickly scroll through your months or your weeks, so you can always utilize this. Then you have schedule. So if you click on A, it will give you all the schedules that are mapped into your calendar. Now for currently, I do not have any event mapped under my calendar or any of these birthdays or reminders, and I have just selected holidays India, so it has giving me all the holidays of the India. Again, it is highlighting the current date and current time. Then we have 4 days, which is basically for the X. So it is only giving me 4 days, starting from today, extending to 4th day, 1, 2, 3, and 4th. This is not much used. So let's go back to our weekly view is the standard view. And then again, we have this Google Apps to access from this app menu. As we have seen, so the way to add the event at a particular time is basically just click on create and it will go there. Or if you wanted to schedule it to some other day, so for example, I wanted to schedule it for 25th, say 1 to 2 p.m. So I just click on here in this block and it will create. Now, if you directly click on it, as per the setting, it will create an hour block here. Okay, and we can click on title and edit this. Or I can just simply click here and keep dragging to wherever I want this. Okay, if I want it half an hour, I just click to the half an hour. It is a kind of snap to grid kind of a thing, wherein you will always get a 15 minutes or half an hour's snapping, right? So now see here, it is 45 minutes, 1 to 1:45 p.m. that way. If I quickly scroll through this, it is half an hour this way. So let's try creating one. So I'm creating one, say test meeting. By default, it's appearing here event. So this is an event and not the reminder and everything. So this is highlighting what is the current state, time, etc. Okay. Add guest, we can add a guest from here. Okay, we can add a Google Meet video conferencing link from here. We will cover that in a later during the advanced session. We can add location as well and then the description. Again, the same thing can be accessed with the more options. So this is a quite handy way to input very specific information which is a required information, or we can click on the more option to access this in a separate window. Now here you have some of the advanced features, like if you want this event to repeat. Okay, so I'll show you that quickly. So let me first add this guest. So this is my guest, for example. Okay, and location, let it be notification, I can set from here. So for example, it will just send a pop-up notification, and you can set an email also, so that before the meeting, 30 minutes before, it will send an email, or there will be only a just calendar notification which will pop up on the bottom right corner of your screen if you have enabled it. Okay, then we have this default calendar and my color, who's the owner of this event, then free or busy. So whenever there is, when you select busy, so whenever someone is trying to block your time during the same time, it will show my calendar as busy. Otherwise it will, you can set it as free as well. Visibility is something very important. So for example, the default visibility is basically, it will show, I'll show you that. So it will show others as my calendar is blocked. If it is public, it will show all the content of the my meeting, for example the test meeting, etc. And private means nobody can see that event on my calendar. Okay, so let's go ahead with this test description and just save. Upon save, it will ask, would you like to send an invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? So for example, here I am adding a one or two or many guests. When I say send, it will send an email notification to that user that somebody has asked you to add this meeting or join this meeting or send an e-meeting invite. Dismiss means just to dismiss this, and when you say don't send, it means automatically this event will be added to the guest's calendar, and however the guest won't be getting any email to it. So let me send this. Okay, so I have added. Now if I go to the other profile, and from here, okay, so before that let's go to the update. Now see here, as I have said send, the invitation has been appearing here. Okay, so the user can directly click from here to respond to the yes, or he can go to his calendar app and there the user can see it. Okay, now see this test meeting 25th 1 to 2 p.m. Okay, so currently it is only in the white color. However, if you accept it from here or from anywhere, if you click here, here also you have the option yes, no, and maybe. So from anywhere, if you say accept, it will turns out to the field color which you have selected here. Now see here, it is turning to the green. So whatever color you have set for your calendar, let me switch this to red. Okay, this is how it works. And similarly, the user will also get the notification that the guests have accepted the meeting invite. See here, you have the email as accepted. Okay, another way, so just like I told here, so I can click on create, so it will automatically go to the next round figure time. However, I can always drag and change this to wherever I wanted. So let's say I wanted it to 24th, this thing, so I can just simply drag and drop there where I want. Let's go to more option, test meet 2. Let me not add any description. So from the description you can have all the editing options. So you can attach any files to it, you can have this font corrections, etc. You can attach any link and you can remove the formatting as well. Okay, now here one thing is, say for example, currently we are blocking it event one by one. So what if I wanted to keep it repeat? So what we can do is, there are options to repeat it. So if I say daily, then every day it will block 3 to 4 time for the all the users of this in meeting invites. Say I am having this user. Okay, when say weekly on Wednesday, so because we are having this on the Wednesday, so every week on Wednesday or the day on which I am creating this, it will appear. Then monthly on the fourth Wednesday, so it is just classifying the day as a weekly day. Say as it is 24th is appearing on the Wednesday, it is taking Wednesday, or it is appearing on the fourth, it's a fourth Wednesday, so it is taking the fourth Wednesday, so on and so forth. Annually, monthly, on the last Wednesday. So these are just the definition of this particular date. Okay, every weekday, Monday to Friday. So it is not including Saturdays and Sundays. So basically, most of the time when we wanted to repeat, this is one of the useful option. And then we have the custom. So custom is basically repeat every one day. So for example, if you wanted in every alternate day, so by skipping one day in between, so we can just say every 2 days. Okay, so this way this acts. It could be either day, week, year, etc. So for example, we want every week, every single week, we wanted to repeat this on Wednesday, Tuesday, these 3 day or any custom day. For example, I want it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So weekly, these 3 day I wanted to repeat it. Now, how many times we can repeat it? So if it's a 1 week event, we will just click on never, and it will only repeat for these 3 day once. Means this coming Wednesday, Friday, and the next Monday, and it will stop. If we say on, so on 23rd September, it will end. So this ends on. Read it like this way. So we can set a date. Say for example, I wanted to continue this till the 31st of December. So what I will do is, it will every week it will block the time for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and at 31st December it will stop blocking the calendar after 31st December. This is a one way, this is quite handy way we can set the events. So for example, if we are working on a project, this is very handy way. And then after 13 occurrences or say 10 occurrences, etc. So we can set these occurrences here. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3 occurrences. So just like for the 13, it will go on say 4 weeks and then we'll stop. Okay, so let's go ahead with this option as, let me keep it 6 and done. Okay, and save again. So this time I'm just putting in do not save. Okay, now see here on my calendar, it is blocking my time on Wednesday, Friday, two events. Then again Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 and 3, 5 events again, and this is sixth event, and it has stopped blocking the calendar. Let's go to the another user profile and see here, because I have not sent it this time, there is no email notification. However, this invite is there on my calendar, on the guest's calendar. This can always be accepted from here. Now see, because this is a recurring event, so RSVP to recurring event has three options: either accept this event only, this and the following events, and all events. Say for example, if this is the event, and when we say yes, this and the following events and okay, so it has not accepted this event. Okay, and rest all has been accepted. Okay, so that is the second option, and the third we have seen is all events. So irrespective of whether that event is prior or later, you are accepting all the events. Okay, okay, go back to my profile, and now again I wanted to go back, click on today, and here let me click on this thing, and here. So now there are sometimes that just like in the email we have a CC option. So under CC we put those users, those who are not required for that meeting, but you, if they attend, it is good. So what we can do is, here we have the user as a compulsory guest, or we can keep it as a optional as well. So here if you just scroll through the users, you will find a person icon, and you just click on that. So if the icon is hollow, it means, now see here, the optional is appearing here. This user is option. So for example, if you have 10 different people meeting, and on that two people are just to be informed about that meeting, and they are not required actually for that meeting, you can just go and mark it as optional. By default it is kind of a required user, but there is an option you can make it optional, and accordingly. So for example, if I now save this and go back here, now see here, the user will be shown as optional. So this means you have a full freedom that whether you wanted to opt to join the meeting or not. Okay, let's go ahead with the settings. So anyway, settings we have the first option, then we have trash to look for if we have deleted. For example, if I am deleting this event, so currently this event only. Okay, and whether I wanted to notify my guest, you can send or do not send. So let's send, and then same notification will be sent to the users. Maybe it will take, okay, so mail has come, cancelled event. So I have cancelled this event, and this has been removed from the calendar. So if you now go here, the event on the Wednesday has been cancelled. So that can be accessed from the trash. Then density and color. So basically what color you wanted to set for this calendar. So these are basically some GUI. So if you want a compact design, if you want responsive or information responsive to your screen, this way. Not much used at all. Then you have print if you wanted to print this view and get add-ons. So similarly, Google Apps, we have some add-ons for calendar as well. Let's go ahead with the setting. Hit the setting icon. So there are some of the general settings. Say for example, language and region, you can set this time format, date format, etc. so on and so forth. Then you have the time zone, display secondary time zone as well. So you can add secondary time zone if you are working across multiple regions or countries. World clock, so you can enable this world clock to show and add a time zone for that particular zone. Now see here, these are one-time setting, and that is dependent on how you wanted to use this. But these are some of the important setting at the bottom side. So the default duration is 60 seconds. So let me set it to 30 seconds. So every time I click on the calendar, it will block 30 minutes time, like what we have seen in the starting of this meeting. Then speedy meeting are basically 25 minutes. So these are default time set. So this will end 30-minute meeting 5 minutes early and longer meetings 10 minutes early. Default guest permission. So this you can set, say for example, these are invite others. So whoever I am sending my meeting invite, so they can send it to the other people and they can also see the guest list. So if I disable these two, they may not be invite others, and if I disable this, they even can't see who all are presenting or who all are present in that meeting. So the default is these two on. Now this third one is very important. So for example, modify event. Okay, now if I go back to the other user and if he wanted to modify this event, event can be modified but just by simply dragging and dropping, like what we have seen earlier while creating the event. So similarly, user can drag and drop to change this. Now see, sorry, it has created a new meeting invite. So when I try to reschedule this, it is not allowing me to reschedule. However, it is showing the warning at the bottom as propose a new time. Okay, and then I can always propose a new time. Let's go back here and enable my this setting. Go back, and here if I click on anything, now see here automatically 40-minute meeting has been rescheduled. Go to more option, and if you notice here, this is the permission which we have just now enabled. Now if I add this and just save, do not send. Okay, the meeting with no title has been added here. Similarly for this user. However, if the user do not want this at this time and wanted to reschedule, he can simply drag this to the new time, say the same time on the okay, or the other time on the next day, and he can then send the invite. So the timing has been changed and initiator will get an email notification. Okay, so I have got the updated invitation. Okay, so this is very important how you have set your default permissions for the calendar. Next you have view option, so show weekends, so like what we have seen from the front end. So same are appearing here. Show week number is very important when you are working on a project and it has a limited duration. So for example, if you are presenting weekly status, so week numbers are quite handy in that terms. If you enable this and go back, it will show the week number considering from the Jan. So first Jan is my first week, so on and so forth it is continuing, and this is my 26th week. It is appearing just besides the month and year extension. Then we have when we wanted our week to start. So if you want Monday, so it will start from Monday. Set the custom view to 4 days, 5 days, so on and so forth we can set. So here now events from Gmail, automatically add events from Gmail to my calendar. So whatever the mails you are receiving into your Gmail. So if you have booked any flight ticket and the confirmation of that flight or the ticket of that flight, if you have received the email of it, it will automatically block the same time or the day into your calendar. Keyboard shortcuts, so enable keyboard shortcuts. So this is basically when you press the question mark onto your calendar, it will show the list of available keyboard shortcuts. Okay, this is the general setting, and for individual calendars also you can. So for example, if this is my calendar, I can set customize setting for this. So if you wanted to customize your name on your calendar, your description that may appear to the other users, etc. Okay, so access permissions, whatever you can make your calendar public, so on and so forth. then share it specific people, so you can add people, so whatever event you create, the other people will automatically get notified of it because this will be shared with them. Okay, again, for your individual thing, you can customize how you wanted the notification, whether you want email or notification for that particular user, and you can customize the time at which you wanted to receive the notification, etc. Now, what notification you wanted to receive via email? So any new event, changed event, cancelled event. So for everything you have default options as email or not. Daily agenda. If you wanted to receive daily agenda, it will just pack up all the day's daily agenda and it will send you an email at 5 a.m. in the morning. So for example, if I said email, so every day, so if I go back now, every day at 5 a.m. I'll get all the details of the event that are there on the particular day. So for example, tomorrow I'll receive an email notification saying you do not have any scheduled event today. On 25th, it will show you have only one meeting schedule and it will give the details of this meeting in the mail body. Okay. There are some more options to it, but these are quite advanced. So I'll try to cover that in the next section. So these are basically to add another calendar here. You can subscribe to other calendars, you can create new calendar as well. You can, so the new calendar could be your individual calendar or a team calendar. So these are our advanced settings so that we can see it into the another video. But for here, say for example, let's suppose this user has a workshop say for 1 to 4 p.m. with some other, and let me block this time. Okay, and so this time is blocked for the other user. Now, if I wanted to block the time of that other user for tomorrow for meeting, so it is always recommended that you check the other user's calendar. So what you can do is, first you can right click, you can right away check it while blocking if there are limited number of users, and I can just add that calendar here. So what this will do is, okay, so it is not allowing me to, calendar cannot be shown because it might be private calendar, but we can add these people here. If it's a corporate environment, there are some different settings to it, and these events can be seen right onto your calendar invite or calendar view. Okay, so what it will basically does is, if the time of this user is blocked from 1 to 4 p.m., it will just show me here that 1 to 4 p.m. this user has some another meeting. It just highlight as busy, so that I'll get to know that this user is not available in this particular time slot, and I can go ahead with blocking another time slot. Okay, the same can be done while you create the event. So for example, if I'm adding an event here, and if I click on more option, here I have a find a time option. So it does is, so let's say if I have the week view, so it is highlighting my current time, so which is blinking here. So 26th 11 to 11:40, right? Let me add a guest. Okay, now again, because of the different user and not in the corporate environment, the calendar cannot be shown. If you see this help, it is highlighting that Google Calendar could not resolve the indicated guest because guest may not be the Google, use the Google Calendar, you may not have permission to access the indicated calendar. So this is all based on the conditions. This may not be the scenario in the corporate environment. Now see here, what it can does is, again the same feature is highlighting here. So if the user is not available in the particular time slot, or it will just highlight their block time here, so that accordingly I can just drag my time slot and modify it to wherever I want it. So for example, if this slot is not available for all the guests, I can just simply modify and place it somewhere else. which is suitable for all users, and accordingly the time got shifted 27 June on the top, 12 to 12:40. This way you can modify your time or you can find a common time. Okay, and then click on save to add this to your calendar. Let me discard this as we do not want to block this. So I hope you have understood this kind of a basic to advanced or all-in-one calendar tutorial. So if you have any questions on the topic or if you have any doubts related to this video or related anything related to the calendar, do post it into the comment section. Do let me know and do hit a like button if you have liked this video. Share it with the required users so that it will ultimately help me grow my channel. Thanks for joining. Stay tuned for the next and see you soon.